You can't quote Jesus' teachings while ignoring what Jesus said about who he is. I hear people say all the time, well, Jesus just said that we should love our neighbor or care for the poor or treat others how we want to be treated. Therefore, that's what Christianity is all about. But something is always left out, and that something is really important because you can't borrow from Jesus' ethics without ignoring the authority that he had. Now, you might be thinking, well, sure I can. I'll just keep the good parts. But if you do that, then those teachings that you hold, they lose all of their moral weight. Anyone can repeat words, but I think the real question we have to ask is why should we follow these teachings? And more importantly, why should we follow them even when it's difficult? Because loving your neighbor is easy when it benefits you, but it's much more difficult when that person is harmful to you or has hurt you or it's costly or inconvenient to you. Jesus didn't just speak as some wise sage giving good advice. He spoke as one who has authority over how human beings are actually meant to live. Think about it this way. If a random person comes up to you on the street and says, I'm going to tell you how to manage your money, we'd all ask a simple question. Well, who are you? Because we'd want to know, do they know what they're talking about? And do they have the authority to speak over the choices that I make with my life? Because we all know that who a person is and the authority that they carry matters before we trust their teaching. Jesus' teachings work the same way. Who he is, his identity, his teachings flow out of who he is. He claimed to be God, and he claimed to have ultimate authority over the human life. So the command to love one's neighbor, whether it's either easy or it's difficult, it flows out of Jesus' authority over humanity as God and the relevant knowledge of knowing what is ultimately good for humanity because he created us. So if Jesus' teachings are worth quoting to you, maybe his true identity should be considered as well.